Welcome to this edition of Your World in Agriculture for this Friday, December 13th, 2024. I just sat down here and all of a sudden figured out it was Friday the 13th. Hope that doesn't mean anything. This is kind of a recap of this week's market and also some thoughts going forward. First off, outside investors believe that the corn market could go higher. What do you think? Let me know. The corn and soybean outside money has been splitting. The investors are splitting the money, so to speak. Corn, they're kind of loading up on the long positions. Soybeans are still short. We'll get to those numbers in a moment. Brazil's government agency, it's the equivalency of the USDA here in the U.S., they're still not really moving their soybean output too much. They did inch it up slightly this month, and those numbers came out this week. We'll talk about those. Russia's wheat exports expected to drop. We have a report on that as well. Let's take a look at the prices first off for this week. Nearby corn futures finished the week up 2.6% from a week ago. Corn market really had a good first half of the week. Not so great the last half. It had a 5-day winning streak going, trading higher, and then it kind of dropped off in the second part of the week. Soybeans dropped 4 cents. Wheat finished 10 cents higher on the week. So some movement there. We'll talk about possibly why that wheat market is finally moving in just a moment. Cattle market, February live cattle futures hit new highs this week. Actually hit those highs on Thursday, dropped off a bit on Friday, but finished around 192 per hundredweight. That's up 3% on the week. Hog market, pork demand is high. Production is close to year-ago levels, but cash hog prices and the pork cutout value are sharply higher than last year. Experts see the February hog futures going over $90 per hundredweight this winter. We'll have to wait and see. Market pressure signal here is showing up. I just got word from weatherrisk.com that extreme rainfall will hit central and east central Brazil in the next 6 to 10 days. So that's positive for their soybean crop that's growing right now. That crop has been doing fairly well, and this rain will really help it. I've seen some photos in Brazil. That crop is flowering already, and I'm sure this will be some pressure for the soybean market going forward. The price ratio between soybeans and corn futures right now at 2.3, that level tells farmers to plant corn next spring. Of course, as we enter these winter months, and turn the calendar to 2025, farmers will begin to start ordering seed for next spring. So they'll be watching that price ratio. Right now, it's telling them to plant corn. The Commitments of Traders report, the COT report, comes out every Friday. We've been talking about it here on Your World in Agriculture. The one that was just released on Friday, money managers are net long the corn futures and options market by the most contracts since February of last year. That tells you that they believe this corn market could go higher. These same investors are net short the bean market, about 58,000 contracts. News reports indicate that it's the biggest short position for money managers in 5 years. So they probably still see some pressure, as we just talked about, coming from Brazil's record production level, possibly in South America. Managed money funds, meanwhile, holds a net long position of about 128,762 contracts in live cattle. That's up 4,800 contracts from a week ago, and the largest long position since April 2019. Why? It's pretty simple. The U.S. cattle herd is still not rebuilding like the market needs it to, and so therefore we remain at historic low cattle numbers in this country. The reports out this week indicated that even the dairy cows are being culled at a lower rate, a slower rate, because they're trying to use some of those dairy for beef. And that's a big trend right now, and you want to watch that in the cattle market. On the export front, USDA's weekly export sales this week were weak for wheat, corn, and soybeans. The wheat sales were at the low end of expectations. Corn and soybean sales fell below the trade expectations. So we'll have to wait and see. We did have some one-time flash sales for soybeans this week that were fairly strong, but overall, not a real great week for exports. Brazil crop estimates As we mentioned earlier, CONAB, it's Brazil's equivalent to the USDA, released its latest crop estimates. It left its soybean production number for this year coming up, 2024, 2025, left it at 166.2 million tons compared to its number in November. It also pretty much left its soybean exports for the marketing year of 2024-2025 at 105.4 million tons, again unchanged from its November report. Also, CONAB pegged Brazil's second crop corn, known as Safrinha, at 94.6 million tons, unchanged from its November estimate. That's still over 3% more corn than last year. And that soybean estimate, even though it's unchanged from November, is still a number that could be a record for Brazil, and also 12.5% more soybeans than a year ago. Russia's exports are seen to be slowing. The Seizoff report by Savicon this week says Russia's wheat exports could drop 17% this month versus last month. What that means for the market is that we could see a bottom in the wheat market coming. The market has been stuck in pretty much a 25-cent range, so we'll see if this is possibly some bullishness that the wheat market could use. Keep in mind, there's a wheat crop coming out of some field somewhere in the country every month, so the wheat market has a lot to deal with. Hey, be sure to subscribe or like the new Your World in Agriculture channel. Again, that's Your World in Agriculture on YouTube. Be sure to like it, subscribe to it if you like this type of information and you want more farm content. I'm Mike McGinnis.